Well, welcome, 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 and thank you all so much for coming on in. I am your girl, Tammy R. Nobles, and it is a plum pleasing pleasure to be with you this evening. I am so excited because tonight we are celebrating one of my dear sisters who has birthed her book. And so, listen, I do not want to belabor this time. I want to thank you all so much for coming on in, but I also want to bring her up. She is amazing. She is a woman of God. She is a teacher. She's a speaker. She's a minister. And now, my friend, she's a mother. She's a wife. But then we can now add author to her repertoire. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Pauletha Young. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us this evening and also giving us the opportunity to share in this exciting moment with you. So, how are you today?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here with you and everyone that has joined us today.
Awesome,
Thank you for
awesome,
asking.
you are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I just want to welcome everyone in, but I also want to welcome people that are joining us. You have some people that are joining us today. Want to say welcome on in, Mother Stewart. She's on. Welcome on in, Miss Crystal. Yes, there is an echo. So I don't know, Miss Carlita. We still have that echo going on in y'all. And thank you so much, Miss Charmaine. Miss Charmaine says, let me just go ahead and share some things. Here's your love from Mother Stewart, Miss Carlita. Just want to share the love. And then here's another friend, Miss Charmaine, is saying congratulations with her beautiful self. Hey, lady, listen. And then Miss Crystal says hello, hello. And yes, we know we're working on the echo. That's listen, y'all. Technology is good when it's good and it works. But then also, yeah, hey JD, thank you so much for coming on in as well. But listen, 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 y'all. We want to keep this train moving on down the track. And I just want to see if you could just take a moment and tell us about your book, my friend. If you, I'm going to take you off mute. All right.
Yes, thank you for that question, Tammy. This is the book Find the Need, Then Lead. It's actually a series. This is my first book in the series, Redefining Femininity from Survival Mode to Thriving. And so the book is definitely speaks to my journey and what lessons that I've learned that I'm just going to share with women that prayerfully it will save you a lot of stress. It will save you from the survival mode tendency so that you can thrive in your God given purpose and calling.
Ooh, I am over here laughing. Listen, because when we talk about this space of survivor mode, I understand that far too well. And I get it, and I love how you you pinpointed and you literally tell us about how this is not how we're supposed to flow and how we are to embrace femininity as our God given influence. And I love how you say that so eloquently in your book, my friends. So I want to encourage you all that if you have not ordered your book, to go ahead and head on over to Amazon and look for the book, Find the Need, Then Lead. Femininity, Redefining Femininity. It is by our very own Minister Pauletha Young. And so, Minister Young, or I'm sorry, Pauletha, I'm so sorry. Listen, can you go ahead and share with us one of your favorite parts of the book?
Absolutely. And so on the journey, the approach, the power approach, the POWER, that is the first uh, in my framework, is the first concept that I address. And so on page 13 will probably be one of my favorite passages because it deals with the block to feminine energy, the grip of survival mode. And it talks about how many women today feel confused about what true femininity is and what it really means, which is why the book is titled Redefining Femininity, because we have heard so many definitions of what femininity is. And so understanding survival mode is so important because it's rooted in trauma. And many times women connect to the survival mode to try to connect so that we can have that unresolved emotional wounds, especially from childhood or toxic relationships. So women in survival mode are often unaware that they are still reacting from pain rather than purpose. It also deals with masculine energy overdrive. Oh my goodness. And many times that survival mode, it pushes women to function in their masculine energy, not knowingly. But what is happening is we're constantly doing, constantly leading and controlling and providing because we feel that it's the only way that we can be safe or that we can succeed. And so it's so many things that being flowing and resting in our femininity, which is something, this is the way God designed us. He wants us to be able to relax and to be able to receive help, to be able to receive love and the rest that we need. And many times we feel like we have to do it all and keep our guard up, but that blocks our intimacy and it blocks our trust. And sometimes we do the performance over authenticity. When we highlight or I highlight in the book that women in survival mode often perform roles just to gain approval or to prove their worth rather
Mm,
than living from
yeah.
a true feminine essence or identity. I can go on and on and on. Fatigue and burnout, oh my goodness, that's a major sign of survival mode because that emotional and physical exhaustion, when our body and our mind are always in a heightened reactive state, never at peace. So those are some of the things that I really uncover in the book to explain what true femininity really is.
Listen, ma'am, I, first of all, congratulations, and there are so many people on here that want to congratulate you just as well. Minister Moore says, "Good, God keep on blessing you." And then to May, Miss Anderson says hello, and Crystal says, "Congratulations! Can't wait to get my copy." And then listen, we got Epstein Henry, my sister. God bless you. Be ye empowered. We have Miss Amy. Listen, I just want you to see people celebrate you. And as you are talking about your book, my friends, you have people who are ready. Grab the book, Crystal says. That's right, Crystal. Grab the book. Listen, can I just say, I already grabbed my Kindle copy, and I gotta have the hard copy too, because you talking to me. That's all I'm gonna say. But listen, I am going to pull up some other women who want to really, really hone in on this space of redefining femininity. And then we'll bring you back. Y'all don't go nowhere because you're gonna hear from different points of views from other women. Miss Pauletha is coming back. So don't y'all hop off nowhere. She is coming back. But I want to bring up a couple of people who are amazing and they have some things to say about your book. So we'll see you in just a moment, okay? Well, all right, all right, all right. Listen, y'all, did y'all get excited about hearing Miss Pauletha?
Yes,
I'm convicted. Let me just, Crystal, Rochelle, y'all help me.
I
So
love
go
it.
ahead and introduce, yes. So Miss Crystal, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people who you represent, and also how are you connected to Miss Holly? Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, you have your mute. You have your mute on. Unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go. Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I think you mean Cassandra. I'm Cassandra Moore.
Oh, listen, Cassandra, that's
That's
exactly
okay.
what I
It's
need.
okay. Crystal's my daughter. I am the eldest sister to Miss Pauletha Young. I'm so excited about the launch of her new book. Of course, she's always been a phenomenal woman. Quiet, we call her the quiet storm in our family. But I'm glad to see her blossoming and coming into her full, authentic person as a feminine woman. And the book, Redefining Femininity, is an awesome book. Um, I've read a few of the chapters. I still have others to go, but what I have read, I'm really enjoying, and it's really resonating with me and speaking to me.
Listen, thank you so much, Cassandra. I apologize. I don't even know where I got Crystal from. No, Crystal was
You got,
on the line.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's my
I'm sorry.
oldest daughter.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. And so now, Miss Rochelle, we're gonna come right over to you, Rachel. Miss Rochelle, introduce yourself. Tell us who you're representing and how you're connected to Miss Paulita as well.
I am Rochelle Spieler, and Pauletha and I have been friends since we were about 18, 19 years old. And I'm just too excited for her book. I have read it, I have reread it, and it's a good guide. I'm too excited for it. So nothing in here surprises me. She's so meticulous about everything, and which have always driven me crazy. So but she and I were, I would say, pretty best friends back then and blessed to reconnect about 8 years ago. That we were blessed to reconnect after we came back from the military and was able to reconnect with her. And God knew just what we needed at the right time. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you. I love the fact that you called it a guide. So, ladies,
Yes,
hear me now. This is a book that you need to put in your toolkit to help you navigate those waters, whether you are single, in a complicated situation,
it's
if
for
you are
everybody.
absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, this is for you. And so we're going to head on over to Miss Rachel. Listen, thank you so much for joining us this evening as well. Introduce yourself. Tell us how you know Miss Lisa, and then how you're representing tonight as well.
Hello, everyone. Well, I happen to know Miss Pauletha as the only person in the world can, as her daughter.
I am just really, really proud of her and all of her accomplishments, all the wonderful things that she is doing. I too am not surprised, but I am just really inspired. Um, and yes, I'm here supporting my mommy today.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I have a question for you, Rachel. So, what part of redefining femininity resonated most with you personally, and why? Everybody, get it in your head. Let's start thinking. Tell me what it was and why.
Yes, I think it's so important, especially as women, when you're in your careers or you're establishing businesses or brands, it can become very easy to get into this hustle culture or, grinding it out, which can cause you to lose sight of that feminine soft side, or maybe not even lose sight of it, just think that it's something that's impossible to lead from. So I really love how in the book she outlines how we need to take time for stillness to be able to cultivate those moments of femininity, and how leading from the feminine side really isn't a form of weakness, it's actually
Hmm.
strength. And just from used to being like, especially when I need to get things done, I can come from sometimes a forceful perspective, but thankfully I'm learning how it's really even more, you're able to get more accomplished at times when you do take a softer approach and you lead from a place that is a balance of the two. So that is my personal uh, journey when it comes to redefining femininity.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let me just backtrack to let the audience understand who we are and one thing that we all have in common, even though all of us have never met in person ever. But one thing we have in common is that all of us served as a form of editor for her book. So we've read it, we've done some things, we've had some time to sit in it. So what you hear us talk about is not just because we love Pauletha. No, it's because we actually have connected with this
Yes.
amazing piece of writing. So what you're hearing us share is really truly from a space of not just reading the book, but reading the book from a critical eye as well in our different perspectives. So Miss Rochelle, quick question for you. So, as
Mhm.
the CEO of Patrice Adams Foundation, how do you see these principles helping leaders and organizations thrive?
Well, I see it because we're basically bonded as a lot of women, in the Patrice Adams Foundation. Pauletha, she's sort of vetted on there as the VP, but she's the one actually created this. She has created so much. So therefore, to me, it's like a helpmate. It's instructions to help and lead and guide and teach us simply how to take care of ourselves, how to lead uh, in organizations. And she has led me through this process of being, president of, this foundation that we have. And I often call her for instructions a lot and for constructive criticism, because the one thing you will get from her is honesty. And sometimes it hurts, but she will give you honesty. And so, but I just love that it's, like I said, it's the leading and the guidance. And, so now we don't have any excuse because we have help. And the way it teaches us to have a plan, that now we can have a plan to lead and guide and to go through our process every day. And for our own organizations and our projects that we have. So beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And speaking of the word beautiful, Miss Cassandra, I know that you are the founder of Beautifully Made Woman. First of all, I just love the name of the organization. But how do you see this book aligning with your mission to help women embrace? She talks a lot about embracing femininity, but how do you see it helping women embrace their work?
I see it as helping women to embrace authenticity of when you say their worth, but their true identity. Because in survival mode, we mask. We're trained to, we're programmed rather to mask and to cover up, smile, don't let anybody know that you're hurting and, you're overwhelmed and you're full with anxiety. But the beautiful part about this, and that you're able to release the grace of femininity, which is what God gave us. So when we take this book as a guide or as added in our toolbox, because first of all, we're beautifully made in His image. God never intended for us to operate from a level of high, what we call dysfunction.
Mhm.
He wants us to operate from a place of peace, from a place of faith, from a place of purity, and again being our authentic self. So then we're what He made us as beautiful is able to come through when we balance ourselves through our femininity as what He's made us as a woman.
That was powerful. And I love that you spoke about grace. My. Because as we truly redefine our femininity, that means we have to be graceful to ourselves. Because a lot of times we can give grace outwardly, but we don't always give grace
Mhm.
inwardly. And so that's part of that authenticity and that identity that you all talked about earlier. But Miss Rachel, have a question for you. So, how do you think women your age can begin shifting from survival mode to thrive?
Yes. So women my age, again, I think it goes back to the whole thing of, in this age, in this era of life, a lot of times, like, you are establishing yourself, you're trying to get your business or your career off the ground. And so, again, it's easy to think that to do this, I have to give of myself completely. I have to accept every assignment, or I have to say yes to every opportunity. And that a lot of times leaves us depleted and leaves us, falling short on our own self care, even commitments to our family, because we've been prioritizing so much when it comes to business. And even with family, sometimes we can sometimes put everyone's needs above our own. And so I think it really is just important and imperative to really take time to slow down. Sometimes slowing down is what will propel you forward more than you actually think it would. And I know, again, that's something that I've had to learn, and I would say I'm still learning, but rest is so important. There's been a lot of moments where I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this time for myself. And in that time, I got a new idea, or I figured out a solution to a problem that I've been facing for a while that I didn't have the time to process because I was just going. So I would say for women my age, I think it's important for us to slow down, really take the time to figure out what is it that I'm trying to achieve. And when I have that clarity, which is one of the sections that was defined towards the beginning of the book about really getting clarity to be able to make the right steps towards where you're wanting to go. So, slowing down, allowing space for ease actually is really beneficial. And I think that would be the first step to take when trying to redefine femininity at this stage of life.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Listen, one of the things that your mother just told me yesterday, and she said it with so much love, but I heard her motherly tone of voice in my sister ear. She said, rest in your femininity. Rest in it. And I think
Difficult
that's
though
what you
sometimes, right?
It is, even at a seasoned age, but I'm so happy to hear you say that even at a younger state that you still need to understand that resting in your femininity, it breeds even greater things. So I want to thank you, ladies, so much for joining us this evening. Do you have any parting words, any encouragement? We're going to go around the room. We'll start with you, Miss Cassandra, go over to you, Miss Rochelle, and then in with you, Miss Rachel. Any words that you would like to share and leave with Miss Pauletha before we close out with you all for tonight?
Well, from a sister's perspective, this has been both inspiring and emotional to watch this book come to life. Me knowing up close and personal the firsthand the sacrifices that she's made and her personal experiences that she's poured um, into others, and now to see it come into pages that it's going to bless even generations to come. That this book that she has, she's building a legacy. I know her heart, and her heart is to see women and young ladies thrive.
Mhm.
And so I'm just blessed to be her sister. And I just want to again say congratulations. I thank you for giving us language to a lot of the things that we are experiencing. I have experienced, and we can't help but if we apply this book to our lives, we can't help but first give God glory and thrive in
Mhm.
the life that He promised that we would have abundant living. So I love you.
Mhm.
I call her Paul. I love you, Paul. Congratulations again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Miss Rochelle?
I just have to say, I am, as women, and as much as we hold on to, I think Rachel was saying that before, and Cassandra was saying how much we mask. And through this book, you're able to learn how to gradually unmask and to let those daily barriers to let them go. Now we can embrace life a little bit better. We can embrace that feminine side. And as being one of her dear friends and she as one of mine, uh, I'm just, all I can say is congratulations. I'm so grateful that she allowed me to be a part of it. I'm so grateful that she's in my life. I'm grateful for her taking the time and the sacrifice to do this to help others. You know, as Cassandra said, she has made so many sacrifices for other women and for young ladies. And, sometimes I just wonder, where does she get the energy? Where does she get the time? But she made it, she did it. And like I said, she's so meticulous about everything, which has always driven me crazy. I'm like, well, let's do it, do this, do this, do this. And she's like, well, Ro, let's just, and I'm like, dear God, she's going to take 2 years to do such and such, but when it all comes to life, it's
Mhm.
exactly the way I've often told her, it's the path of life, the way God wanted it to be. So
Mhm. Amazing.
I'm so
Um,
proud of her. So congratulations. And I can't wait for more. So
awesome. Awesome. All right, Miss Rachel.
Yes, I will definitely echo everyone else's sentiments. I am so, so, so proud of her. I mean, she is that girl to me and forever will be. I will say to everyone else, though, make sure you get your book. And
Uh-oh.
We lost her.
We lost you. Rachel. Yes, we lost
oh
you.
no,
Okay, go back. You told them to make sure they get
I,
their book and then say everything else.
I don't know how I did that. So sorry. Did you hear me say get the book?
We
Yes.
did. We did. We heard you say get the book. You can tell them again. Get the book.
Yes, get the book. I know I have my blur on, but get the book. And when you read the book, actually take the time to go through the steps that are outlined so that
Yes.
you can see the change being implemented in your life. So I will say that to everyone, but to my mommy, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I cannot wait to see just where this book takes you and everything else, all of your other endeavors. Love you.
I
Awesome.
do want to add, if there's
Yes.
somebody who can't afford their book, please let me know because I'm going
Ooh,
to buy like 10 or 20. So, and I'm willing
lovely.
to share because I have like 3 or 4 people already that I'm going to share with here in Corpus, and 2 of them are on here already. So, but if you can't afford your book, let me know, and I would be more than happy to sponsor a book for you. So, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. We do appreciate that. And if they need to get in touch with you, then they can get in touch with Miss Lisa. So
Yes.
listen, y'all. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Miss Cassandra. Thank you, Miss Rochelle, and thank you, Miss Rachel. We appreciate you all. Have a great and amazing evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. So listen, we about to bring Minister Miss Pauletha back to the stage, ma'am. I know you have to be on overflow over there, but before you say anything, hold on. I want you to see other people celebrating you. Like, listen, you've got to bask in the moment. The same way you're telling us and teaching us, lean into that femininity, rest in that, celebrate you, all of those amazing things in the book. This is your moment. So hold on before you say one thing. Before you say it, let me just share a few comments from the people. Listen. Miss Amy says, "Get it. We love you, Chloe." Crystal says, "Grab the book," and she put it the link. Thank you so much. Miss Anderson was like, "Yes." Lucia said, go, Pauletha. And then here's some more congratulations from Miss Candace, Miss Connie, Miss Patricia. Listen, and then Mr. Moore says, "I'm going to get mine." That's right, because now listen. Now you bring up a great point because this book is written for women, but men, can I tell you, you're gonna learn a lot, and this is really gonna help us transition right into our next phase. Well, let me just give you what the other people are saying. Congratulations. Listen. Charmaine said, listen. And so, yes. You have so many things. People are saying good stuff, ladies. All of these things, all of these comments, and all of the people that are with you this evening. And so, listen, Minister Pauletha. I'm sorry, I keep calling you minister. I can't help it. That's who you are to me, as well as my sister. But Pauletha, the author, as we celebrate you tonight, you heard from the women, and they were so amazing and shared their heartfelt words. Is there anything you want to say before we transition to the next stanza of this event tonight?
Yes, to add, and you'll see it in the book. This book is more than just about leadership. My framework actually deals with uh, the five dimensions of men and women, really. And so it's important that we don't negate any part of ourselves as we get the clarity and as we begin to love ourselves. We have to address the emotional side, the spiritual side, the physical side, uh, our social side. We have our mental side. We have to address all of us. And so that is what I'm trying to do in this book. And that is a part of my framework. So I just wanted to add that it's more than just about your leadership journey. It's about really inner mastery. I'm really, really drawing us inside because before we can really touch the lives of others and transform the lives of others, we got to start within ourselves. We got to start with us. I had to start with me, and then I'm able to give from the overflow. But I just wanted to add that piece.
Wow. Okay. So with that, with you adding that piece about it being inner mastery, that space is so important when we find ourselves in relationships. So now, my friends, we about to turn up in here and add a male perspective. So I hope all of the men are still on the line because my friends stand by because you are about to get some truth because she didn't just write the book. She has to be living it because she invited somebody that knows her very, very well from a very different space. So we are going to bring up none other than Miss Pauletha's husband, Mr. James Young, my brother. Hey, my friend, how are you?
Hey, I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. And may I say congratulations to this beautiful young lady who's beautiful both inside and out. I appreciate this opportunity. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Awesome. So, listen, we want to hear from you because, sir, you have been able to not just help her through her writing process, but you've been the one walking side by side as she truly lived this space of redefining femininity. And then before we even get to that part, find the need, then lead. We as women, we got a lot of needs. So
Yes,
I have some questions for you, sir.
yes.
So I want to know from a husband perspective that as a man, how has Pauletha's redefined femininity influenced your relationship and personal growth?
Well, I must say that this young lady, before she put it on paper, she lived it. I've seen this book unfold before my very eyes. To see and to experience what she is talking about in the book, she is definitely that person who could explain it and put it on paper. She has orchestrated our home in such a way that it just really stands out that it makes me take a second look. Huh? What? because of the way she not only she articulates her words, the way that she articulates our relationship. You know, sometimes, us men and our masculinity, one thing we did decide, there's only room for one person in the masculine energy. And then we decided there's only room for one person in the feminine side of our family. And so, not that it's roles, but she do it so well.
Mm.
She do it so amazing that sometimes I just stand by and watch her operate in that femininity. Very seldom do I see her lose a cool. Rarely. I mean, stuff that would shake most people, she's able to articulate it. She's able to handle it in her feminine energy. And I said to her, I
Yeah.
said, how'd you do that? Because that's just who she is. She's such a loving
Yeah.
and kind person. And I've just watched it orchestrate before my very eyes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, I want her to respond in a feminine way from a wife perspective. And so, Pauletha, I want to ask you, how has embracing your femininity impacted your marriage and your ability to lead in your marriage and in ministry? How has that impacted
Well, one way I can say is I do understand now what the Bible says about the husband's heart safely trusteth in her. There are a lot of people that are married, but when it comes to the husband who, when men are usually growing up, they're taught not to have emotional intelligence, not to be vulnerable, and not to really talk about their feelings. But now I understand that because I learned how to embrace my femininity, my husband is able to trust his heart with me. And I take that as a true blessing. And I've created a space where he can feel so safe to be vulnerable and transparent with me and to share his feelings no matter what they are. And he knows he's not going to be judged or criticized. I'm going to listen with my heart. And if it requires a response, then I will. But I definitely have learned what that scripture means about the heart of the husband safely trust in her. And that's really, yeah, because you did ask me a two-part question. As it relates to leadership, I'm am I am I
listen? Go
unmuted?
back now.
Go back to the leadership, what I was saying about that.
No. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, okay. As it relates to leadership, I have learned that when we are operating in business as women, we do have to use our masculine energy because it deals with the analytical side of our brains, decision making, and things of that sort. But I do know how to turn it off when I'm home and I'm the wife and I cater to him and serve him. That's it.
Okay, I know the answer to this question already. But does the book tell you how to turn it off? Like I know the answer, but can for the people in the back who may not have read the book, does the book tell you how to turn it off and still be feminine in leadership and creating these safe spaces, as you spoke about, for the man and the men in your life. Like, dude, where is that at? I need to. Some of us need to forward quickly to that page.
Does. Absolutely. It does. And it's very important that as we learn as women to rest in our femininity, it doesn't mean that you don't speak up. It doesn't mean that you hide and you're dishonest because you're trying to just only say nice things and all of that. It comes from a place of honesty. It comes from a place of freedom. When you are free to be yourself, you just can flow. And my husband creates that safe space where I can just freely flow in my femininity. One of my core values is connection, and we have connection. There are times where I can think of thing and he may voice it and vice versa. So knowing how to, and if I can say that this is the biggest thing when we talk about knowing when to turn it on and turn it off. Whatever my area is, faith that God was dealing with me along my journey. And so testing the things that I've learned all through the years as it was being tested and going, quoting scriptures that if you keep your mind stayed on him, he will keep you in perfect peace, and all of that was tested. And so in my femininity, God began to teach me how to rest in it, even in moments where panic tried to overtake me, and different things that try to overwhelm me. He's taught me how to really lean on faith, not to my own understanding, because as a woman, this one right here, wanting to understand before taking the step of faith was the thing that I had to overcome. And God had to show me, no, baby girl, that is not faith. It says, lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. He will direct your path. So I was operating in survival mode, just trying to figure it all out and get an understanding before trusting God. And so that is a lesson that truly has helped me to rest in my femininity and not fear or panic or overwhelm, because those life happens to all of us. We don't know what we're going to be confronted with, but if we can have that as a base, as a foundation, because it will be tested. No matter how much I love my husband, it will be tested. But God really helped me to rest, and he's helping me to learn to rest in my femininity and to really have that inner peace.
Woo, ma'am. Listen, so you wanted me, we're going to wrap up. We got 6 minutes. You wanted me to share from a single woman perspective. And can I just say, like, even preparing for tonight, you just begin to highlight even other things in the book. Like when you said rest in your femininity, that rings so out loud. And what you and your husband shared, you basically are saying, well, we can rest in who we are and just be who we are, who God created us to be. And you talk in the book about having a biblical foundation for you, your life, but also for your relationship and really, really optimizing your mindset. Because a lot of times we have that residue of the old and that fear will show up, right? Fear of it's not going to work again, fear of, oh, you don't do me like somebody else, but really optimizing our mindset, as you mentioned in the book, rooting out limiting beliefs and replacing them with God's truth. That's where I lend my hat. That's where I rest on as a single woman on this journey to have what you all have. And that is a healthy, happy, and whole relationship. Wait, let me back up. Marital relationship. So I also too want to say congratulations and thank you so much for helping us from a single perspective, from a marriage perspective, from I'm just out here perspective. If it's complicated, wherever we are on our journeys, you want us to really deal with us first, not mask it, not continue to you mentioned in the book running on autopilot and being intentional in creating the woman that God has called us to be. So many nuggets in the book. So listen, I'm gonna pause right here. We have 4 more minutes left. What other things do you want to share with us tonight? Like, if you haven't gotten the book, please go get the book. It's available on Amazon, my friends. And listen, the name of the book is simply "Find the Need, Then Lead." And so I'll yield the mic over to you, Miss Polly.
May I?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I just want to just say my last piece. I want to say to the men who are on the line, and I want to say to the men, maybe there's a lady that's on the line that you're thinking maybe this book is not for the man. I just want to encourage you. Not only is it tells a man what to look for. It shines a light on those hidden treasures that could possibly be overlooked if you're not careful. So I want to encourage the men on here. I promise you, it's a good read. It's a good read. You'll find out things that this is what you want. You want in a mate, in a wife, and, and and allow her to create an atmosphere for her to flourish. That's what we do at home. We create an atmosphere. Nothing hinders her from flourishing in her femininity. I encourage her. You're good. Don't worry. You're good. Get your rest because, as her daughter talked about, when she gets her rest, she's at her best. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you for reminding us that men can benefit from this too as well. And thank you so much. Ms. Pauletha, I lean it all over to you.
Wow, this has been such a blessing. I couldn't have asked for a better launch of this book than what was given tonight. I know we had some technical difficulties with the mic system, but through all of that, I pulled a lot of value from everyone, from our interviewees, from my husband, you, Tammy. I am just so very blessed. And if I can add this to what my husband shared as it relates to relationships, if you've had past relationships that were, if you feel like your picker was off, and you're just like, I just cannot seem to get it right. I just want to, there's a lot of content that I will be offering. I just want to invite you to go on this journey with me so that I can help you reach that place where you can rest in your femininity, your God given femininities, to where you can hear, you can even detect when your picker is off. You'll be able to look at those patterns and take notes from, the individual that you are engaged with, you'll be able to not only rely solely on attraction, because that's what gets a lot of people in trouble, but you'll be able to focus on identifying the compatibility in your values, your core values, that emotional maturity, the communication styles. There's so many things to consider that helps us to rest in our femininity and helps men as well to rest in their God-given masculinity so that they can make the right choices and we don't have to do it from a place of survival mode. And so the book, there was a little left out of the title. It is Finding the Need, Then Lead, Redefining Femininity from Survival Mode to Thriving. And so I believe that is what God's best is for all of us, is that we thrive. And I thank each and every one of you all for being here tonight. I thank you for your support. I love each and every one of you and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And one last thing, I am a blessed woman because I am married to James Anderson Young. I love you, baby.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, you all, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. And I just want to let you know, she's not just given, she's not just written this book just out of air. As her husband said, she's lived the book. But let me also give you a hidden nugget. She's also a certified counselor. So you have that added piece into what she is offering. So go grab the book. Go and connect with her. I know she has some things coming up. So please, 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 by all means, connect with her, follow her, stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, and listen. Be like Miss Rochelle, get the book for somebody else because you are not the only one that needs it. So until next time, my friends, be blessed, stay anchored, and we will see you again. Have a great evening and congratulations again, Miss Pauletha Young. You all be blessed. Have a great evening.